You know what's really frustrating to me? All dietitians, and probably a lot of you, it's crash dieting. Let's say, for example, Christmas just happened. We ate way too much, we feel bad about ourselves, so we think, you know what, I'm gonna go on a little diet. I'm gonna do it really aggressively. I'm gonna cut carbs. I'm gonna do keto. I'm gonna do something ridiculous like that that's ultimately insanely restrictive and really not that enjoyable. So what happens is you go good for 5 or 6 days, then Sunday comes around and you think, you know what, I've done really well, I deserve a cheat meal. And then that cheat meal turns into a cheat day. And then all of a sudden, all those calories that you'd saved have now been added back in. The scale doesn't change, and this cycle continues. You keep this going, then all of a sudden, the scale hasn't moved, you're miserable, you're treating yourself terribly, and you're probably treating the people around you terribly because you're starving and you're angry, which is very reasonable because you're starving yourself. So what happens is you then give up. You give up and you think, you know what, dieting just doesn't work for me, I'm just not one of those people. So you think, I'm going to eat whatever I want. And you do that for a couple of weeks and the scale goes up because we know that works. And then all of a sudden you think, oh, I need to cut, but this time I won't have a cheat day. But sure enough, because you're so miserable, you need a cheat day. So you have a cheat day, it turns into a cheat week, and the same thing happens again. You keep going up. And honestly, the cycle never stops if you be completely restrictive. And that's a big thing we see in dietetics culture at the moment. Everybody is trying to cut down so aggressively, they treat themselves terribly, and they end up gaining weight. If that sounds like you, it's something you've done before, get in touch, give us a call here, because I'd love to help.